This is the immigration story of Antonio Federico. Antonio was born on November 1st, 1976 in Aracaju, Sergipe. In 2019, at 42, almost 43 years old, he emigrated from Brazil to America. Over the course of his journey from Brazil to America, he had lots of mixed feelings. He was excited to have an opportunity to live in a new country, but it was also scary because he didn't know what he could find. Concern was in his feelings because of what was going to happen, or what's going on, or what's going to happen in the future. Some other feelings were happiness and anxiety. At the time, he was already a father and a husband. His wife and children did not accompany him on his first journey to America since the children had to finish the school year. The main reason he was going to America was because he was accepted at a university called MIT. Luckily, he was able to travel with friends because coincidentally, they were also accepted to attend MIT. Their plane landed in Boston, Massachusetts on May 20th, 2019. They chose to land in Boston because that is where MIT is located. The first day was very exciting. He said, "Everything was new, the airport, and it was the first time after almost 20 years that I stopped work just to study. It was kind of new times for me." He said that this was not his first time in the US as he went there for business trips. The language difference was the hardest thing for him. While English wasn't his native language, he did speak a little bit of it. It was scary for him. He was worried whether he would be able to communicate with people. Would he be able to express his ideas? Would he understand others? Antonio recalls that this was my biggest mountain. Even with a lot of challenges, a few people made the adjustment easier for him. Most of them were immigrants from Brazil, like him. They were welcoming and said not to worry about language. It wasn't the biggest problem. They said he didn't have to speak 100% correctly. He needed to be more concerned in communication, the skill of communication, and expressing his ideas. Since it was not his first time in the US, Boston was exactly how he imagined, and day after day he felt more in control and confident. A source of happiness for Antonio was when his wife and children joined him in America by the end of 2019. MIT was a one-year program, so he graduated in May 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. The pandemic caused everything and everyone to be in a lockdown experience. He started looking for a job right away, so he prepared himself for job interviews such as his English and storytelling. Hard work does pay off since he ended up getting a job at Citibank. The most challenging part of his experience has still been the language. He believes that people his age who haven't had the opportunity to learn English when they were children have more trouble learning. He started to speak English when he was around 20 years old, so he wasn't so young. It was harder for him to learn English than a child who started to speak English at a young age. He said to challenge himself and to learn something new every day was his best immigrant experience. To be more patient and rebuild yourself somewhere different with different people with different cultures and behavior was a challenge and opportunity. He misses his friends and families back in Brazil the most. His connection to them is very important to him. He visits them as much as he can, which includes summers when the whole family goes to Brazil. Ever since he came to America, his life has changed a lot. Every day is a new challenge to him, to try and build new relations and to provide and protect his family. Brazil is his home country, his home nation. It's always an option for him to go back to Brazil for good.